I was listening to your talk this morning, obviously, as we all were, and I'm curious to get both of your take on how mass adoption occurs. Obviously, I think one component is going to be making this stuff easier to use.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Iggy Azalea followed me on Twitter this morning is a good sign for mass adoption. But what else is it going to take?
Well, user experience is super, super critical. You can't, if you have to understand the technology in order to get it to work, there was a time when you had to understand cars to drive a car. You had to understand copying machines to have a copying machine. We have to turn that corner. But I think the other thing is that we need products that meet needs that real people actually have. One of the things that I mentioned in my talk is, like, for most of us, we're very well connected to the financial system, and getting money into and out of a blockchain is not difficult for us. But if you're someone who, doesn't have a whole bunch of money that you can just, send off and not be able to get to for a while, on-ramps and off-ramps are critical, interoperability, like all of those things. But really what it comes down to is just the user experience has to be great, and it has to solve a problem people actually have. It can't just be interesting. It's like, oh, it's really cool that it can do this thing, right? It has to solve a problem people actually have.
Mm. One of the things David also talked about on stage earlier today is he had been around in the earliest days of the internet, kind of the internet 1.0. I'm a lot younger than him, but I also was around. Why is that funny?
I don't know.
Wow, Frank, shots fired. I was around those days as well, and I think one of the things that really catalyzed the growth of kind of the internet 1.0 was usability.
Yeah.
Mosaic came out as a first browser that evolved into Netscape. That trying to use some of these technologies that predated the browser as we know it. I mean, people can't even think about the internet before a browser.
Mm-hmm.
But those things didn't exist until I think 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
That was the explosive growth. And so I think, again, when I think about the big picture where we're going over the next 5 years, 10 years, I think we are now focused on abstraction layers that can actually, we don't need to know how the technology works. We don't need to know how SMTP works to send an email.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need to know how to do things with core layer one technologies in order to take advantage of them?
Or bridging and the...
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back, guys. We know we have options today. And then we also have options in the stock market. Right now, the stock market is flat. And make sure you're looking at that stock calendar. Now, guys, also make sure you watch the video I did last night. The movie is getting better. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates down and we have the dollar down. And anytime we have those two down, market should be doing better. But I'm going to get into that later. Now, we have the volume in crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $307 billion. And make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis. Now, guys, just like I stated, make sure you watch yesterday's video. It's definitely a must watch. I put it out late, but we had Trump saying never again with all the events that we had in 2020. which we know all started with him. So while he was president, he never stopped any of it. And whatever crisis that we get, you better take it serious. Because right now they're playing the game like, no, you shouldn't take it serious because of what happened in the last situation. Those who are history buffs and those who are conscious, we can see what's real and not real. And when we had the C word, guys, make sure you're just taking care of your body, eating your vegetables, getting your little exercise, getting out in the sun. Your immune system will do the rest. But eating these processed foods will never help you. And then, guys, we have the drums are beating, getting louder, cyber attacks, and then we have the billionaires selling stocks because they know what's about to happen. They're just getting themselves in position, guys. Why? To buy everything on pennies on the dollar. We've seen this movie before. Anytime you're an investor and if the market is so good, you got over $200 billion sitting on the sideline, why wouldn't you put it in the market? You're taking it out of the market because you're waiting to buy when there's blood in the streets. And when you're an old man like me, I've seen it too many times. All you have to do is be patient because you're witnessing the fall of the United States World Reserve currency right in front of your eyes and the rise of these digital assets, these stable coin CBDCs, which are programmable, giving them a lot of power. And of course, we're having the rise of the BRICS nations, the digital yuan, along with the Belt and Road. And with AI, all this data, they're making smarter and smarter. And because everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain, now the NWO has the all-seeing eye. They'll be able to know you better than you know yourself. And then also they'll be able to control the money because now the money is going to be programmable, telling you what, where, and when, how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And when you're dealing with cash, you can buy an item and nobody knows anything. That's the reason why it's so important for you to understand the technology because you'll still be able to do the same thing only if you understand the technology. Remember, my people perish from a lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not there, because they reject it. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale, Bitcoin, and Ethereum ETFs all up. Now, we have OKEX bringing Solana Blinks to Ethereum chains. And whoever makes it seamless is the winner. Now we have digital payments platform Flexes launches crypto point of sale tool. And again, guys, we're seeing this space become seamless. And in order to bring it to the masses, they don't want them to understand the technology. They just want one click or one tap and keep it moving. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have gift card giant Raise partners with Wallet Connect on crypto payments option. And again, that's pushing adoption. And lastly, guys, we have Donald Trump raked in over $7 million from NFTs. And guys, when it comes to crypto, Trump has been making millions and millions of dollars without having to buy. He's been a paid spokesperson for digital assets over these last 4 years. Baseball cards, shoes. He's been making millions off the space, and Trump is a salesperson. Trump is a brand. And we see Trump Jr. pushing DeFi, going to be doing a project, open up a Telegram. And when you have the former president and then also running for president, pushing Bitcoin and crypto, those who have never looked at Bitcoin and crypto are looking. And now who do we have? The big banks, big corporations buying up Bitcoin and crypto. And I went over that in last night's video. Remember, guys, the goal is a fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.